You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from Chewy's, the best all-nude Wookiee review on Kashyyyk. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Hey, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. This is episode 82. Can you handle it? Who's in the house? Let's see. We got Ed.
Hi.
I got my brother Bob.
Hey, what's up?
I thought you were just gonna leave the one note at first.
the one half dead note. I had to try and get it right. The second time, it's still palsy it up.
Hey, well, whatever it takes, man. Hey, how you doing, folks? We're here. Whatever it takes, we're here every week, every Saturday. Right, Ed?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking because you were a little.
Because we have no lives.
Well, that's true. I just wanted them to guess at that, though. You know, but that's it's official. It's official, folks. You heard it here. We have no lives.
What?
But we're here. We spend that time entertaining you or trying to. Right? Is that the goal? Is that the mission?
Yes.
All right.
So we're just here to entertain Ed. Is that what you're saying?
I guess
The beauty is in the attempt.
we should all be trying to make each other laugh, and then from that, we're just going to guess that somebody else out there is laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know.
I thought the goal was to, make the other two people look good.
Well, that's
like
in there
improv,
too.
you know.
I guess
Isn't that a
but
wife's job?
we should probably take some improv classes and learn to set each other up a little better.
Yeah, probably.
Like, do some of those setup tricks. Speaking of setting things up, first things first, I'm going to cut open this loot crate, and Ed's going to tell you the official business rundown. How about that this week for switching things around?
Sounds good. Welcome.
So, Ed, what's on the agenda?
Well, this is episode 82, okay? We're going to do some news, the usual bits, DCTV Report. Plus, also, we've got our pitch versus pitch. I gave out a title last week.
Yes, you did.
And Bob and Bill are going to give me their pitches.
So there's no freebasing Drano on there today, is there?
No.
No, that never gets on there for some reason.
Mm-hmm. No, not yet.
Okay, so well,
Not yet. And also,
You keep suggesting that, but not yet, is what Ed is
yeah.
saying.
That's
Yeah.
only on those bad days. When I'm having a bad day,
A little extra Drano feels like it
yeah,
might be the thing to fix
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
we're also going to read your emails. If you want to send us an email, you can even send it right now. If you want the podcast at Wicked Theory.
Ed's making bold executive decisions right there, but continue.
Yeah, and,
Just send it in last minute.
yeah, sure, why not? Simple questions.
enough.
Keep them short.
Keep it short.
No long diatribes or paragraphs. Just, something that can spur on the conversation.
Something sweet. Something short and sweet.
Yeah, and, if you're listening to this in podcast form, if you downloaded this off our feed, you can listen to us live every Saturday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at mixler.com/wicked-theory. Sign up and chat. You'll get an email every time that we go live. Plus, also support us on patreon.com/wicked-theory. Just give us a couple shekels for just $1 a month. You can get bonus episodes where you'll hear the after show for each episode.
That's right.
That gets posted every Monday or Tuesday.
Every Monday evening-ish, I put out the after show in case anybody misses it, and that's the only way to catch it. Used to throw it away.
Right.
Used to throw it away,
Yeah,
but for $1 a
just
month.
to the other, right?
Just like, hey, it was like if we left the mics on for a little while, but now it's like, hey, we're committed. We'll give you an actual hour and a half extra show, so it's a 3-hour live show. But, the after show, a little looser, a little different. Sometimes we don't even know what the hell's going to happen because it's less planned. I don't know if that...
It's got peaks and valleys because
I wouldn't
it's not
say,
planned, but it's a
I would
good
say
time.
it being less planned is not really planned either. Like, the plan was to be more planned, but it seems to be working. We're keeping it loose there in that section.
Right.
Yeah. So also, if anyone listened to Podtoberfest or is following the 30 Days of Podcasting over at 7 Days a Geek, the Wicked Theory episode is up. It went up last week. Go check that out. Speaking of 7 Days a Geek, we've got Grant Markham is in the chat room.
He is in the chat room.
Yes.
And also what just went up on the 70s a Geek feed from Podtoberfest is the Shumway
Water cooler.
Radio play.
Yes.
Which, I mean, you helped out with. Grant obviously was part of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear all the people from Shumway, which is actually just a bunch of people from different podcasts all hanging out and having a hoot and holler.
Tons of fun.
Tons of fun.
Tons of fun.
Speaking of fun, Ed, thanks for handling the what do we call it?
The official business.
The official business section. So this is what was in the pod.
Yeah. What am I getting this month?
What are you getting? Can't tell yet. So Loot Crate this month. This is the stuff that's in it. We got there's a T-shirt.
As long as it's more than nothing, I always
What's
get
the
nothing.
theme?
Usually I try to figure out the theme before I get to the booklet because the booklet's always at the bottom.
Okay.
So let's see. Becoming an Obliviator, recruiting now, every half moon of the month. Mac USA. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's a Fantastic Beasts T-shirt.
Is that what that is?
Oh, yes,
That's
is.
why I don't get any of this, huh?
Yeah, because obliviating means that's when you wipe a no-mag's mind. They don't remember the
So when everybody, all
In
this.
this one, Muggles are no matches.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So I think we're going with magic as a theme because there's also a Doctor Strange Q fig, which the last few of these have been some of the best figures I've seen in a while.
That's
It's got
actually cool.
Yeah,
a
that
very
is
cool cartoony animated look to him. It's pretty sweet, actually. You know what I mean? Usually Doctor Strange hasn't been this cool in years. Just so we're all aware. All right. And I don't know if this is a blank Moleskine journal book, but it is. It looks like it's Game of Thrones. The night is dark and full of terrors, and it's got Melisandre, the witch, in her youthful and old, haggard, near-dying form.
Okay.
So that seems pretty cool. In the bottom here, we've got a Big Trouble in Little China meets Escape from New York comic.
I read that issue. It's really good. It's
Yeah?
really good.
Is
Yeah.
it really?
Yeah.
I kind of felt like it was trying. You know what? It probably is really good because it's so
expect
goofy.
It to be, I'm sorry. Can
Go
finish.
ahead. But I was going to say because both of them have enough of a undertone of
Schlock.
schlock for sure.
Right.
Big Trouble in Little China obviously being more comedy than the other one.
Yeah, I mean, the art is really stylized, but the good thing, especially with the Big Trouble in Little China comics, that series from Boom, they've got that character's voice down perfectly. Like, that's exactly what he sounded like in the movie.
Okay.
And just those wild, just the idea that he is so confident and knows absolutely nothing about what's actually going on, and that's what makes that character
Okay.
so funny.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, the theme from the booklet here was magical. It's got some other goofy stuff in there. The loot pin, because every month they send a pin, is 3 dragons. Looks like they're eating each other's tails. It's an Elder Scrolls reference. So that's really it. Not a lot in this one, but 3 decent hits. I mean, the figurine alone I know is about $25, $30 retail.
Well, overall, it's a
16,
good
15.
It's a good box. It's just not overly. You're overly fanatical about. Or something like that, you know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong.
It's a good box.
Yeah.
It's just not for you a phenomenal box.
I tell you what, though, the shirt is actually like how I like shirts like that, where it's like, okay, it's a tie-in to the thing, but you got to know the thing a little bit to get it. Like, I didn't get it at first. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of a cool shirt. And then once I knew it was Harry Potter related, I was like, okay, I don't want it anymore. All right, so
That'll
that's
be for
that.
the niece in Penn State.
Said it again?
That'll be for the niece at Penn State.
There you go. Bob just put me on the spot, and now I have to send it out to somebody.
Could someone in the chat tell me whether or not they beat Michigan State today? I don't know. I think that game might still be going on.
Okay, could someone in the chat not help him with his sports info because he can get that on the news?
And you know, I usually don't like minor league football, but Palmer keeps talking about it to me on the phone.
And Palmer's the one who's talking you into stuff these days?
Yeah.
Football, minor league. This is minor league football.
Yeah,
it's all kids.
It's called college football.
Oh, yeah.
But,
they're not that young. I thought it was.
They
really
just don't.
young.
They just don't pay them. That's the difference.
Yeah, sure.
That's true. That's true enough.
Are we done?
That's enough social commentary for one episode.
And sports talk too. Okay, so that's that, and the show's over.
This has been Wicked Theory Sports Talk.
So that was the loot crate that brought us out of that, and that brings us into this. Just stalling here as Bob's going to get ready and play. He's going to pull out the harpsichord, and he's going to play us a little, very soft and gentle tune very succulent sound, if ever there was one. Oh, there he is. He's tuning it up. He's warming it up. That's it. I can't believe the guy wheeled out that big fucking thing just to do that.
It's commitment.
It's heavy, Bill.
It's a good thing it's on wheels. They don't squeak either. Like you don't even hear him rolling it up,
Right.
which is the craziest thing.
It's basically the inside of a grand piano.
I gotta get a sound effect now of like somebody wheeling some big object into the
Big
room.
squeaky wheels.
Just a squeaky. Yeah. Bob going, jeez.
With that big heavy weight rolling sound behind it.
right. That bassy thumping kind of rolling against the floor. Yeah. And then Bob can make sounds like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the meanwhile section, Ed saw a couple movies.
Yeah, I saw a couple of movies. Saw Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That was good. Check it out.
Did you find them? Did you learn where to find them?
Yes.
Because I feel like that's an important question. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's all about where to find them.
Eddie Redmayne's briefcase.
Okay, fair enough. Fair
yeah.
enough. I got a little piece of Eddie Redmayne this weekend, too. I watched, I finally saw Jupiter Regressing.
Jupiter Ascending.
Jupiter Ascending?
Oh, my God. He is incredible at that. And by incredible, I mean god-awful.
Yeah, like he wants to be incredible in that. Yes, everything is a whisper.
Oh.
Look at my weird lips and teeth. They quiver. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. That's him.
That's a movie that tries really hard to be good.
It's shooting so much at you.
It's overshooting it.
And I'll give it to Mia Kunis's character in that. She just goes with it. She's not the character who's like, I don't get it. She does that once, and then from there on, she's like, okay, I'm the queen. Whatever. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need the character to do that. Get that shit out of the way. Too much going on. Anyway, so you saw Fantastic Beasts and where to release them because they make bad pets. It's all about Pokemon Go, this thing, right? Fantastic Beasts and where to find them.
Yeah.
It's all about the Nickelodeon tie, the Nintendo tie-in.
Nintendo.
Well,
That's what I'm thinking.
the thing I find ironic is that a Brit comes to America and goes, wow, you people are really uptight.
Well, it was back then.
Yeah.
We're much cooler now.
Yeah.
It's all about it's a different period back then.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that. That's not modern.
No, it was good. If you love the Harry Potter movies and the books, it definitely has that feel. You could tell that Rowling had a huge hand in the screenplay. I'm not sure whether or not it's like kid friendly.
It seems to want to border that line where it's like it wants to be like teens, like not little kid maybe. At least from the look of it, it looks like little kids might get bored waiting for cool stuff to happen. There's no little kid protagonist in it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but it's also fun to see that world in the Roaring '20s, and the kind of places that you think are speakeasies are actually hideouts for witches and wizards.
Do these beasts do the Lindy and the Hucklebuck? What kind of dances are they doing?
Something like that.
Are they wearing hoop skirts?
The Charleston.
Ron Perlman plays a mobster goblin.
A mobster monster, really?
Yeah.
I love it. And Ron Perlman with no makeup on, right?
No,
because that's what I'm thinking. They just paint him like a color.
They just shrunk him down to like
shrunk him down
to like 1/2 size.
Right, gargoyle size, and then painted him like gray, and no other makeup.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's exactly what happened.
Just shaved him down.
Yeah, no. That was good. I'd give that 3.5 American tacos.
3.5 American tacos.
Okay.
Then Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge. This is supposed to be like Amazos.
Really good. Really good.
Did you have some man tears moments?
I'm holding back. I'm holding back.
They almost came out right now. Thinking about it.
Only 2 movies ever made me cry. Mel Gibson did direct one of them.
Oh my god! It was bad, that movie, right? All right, so back to this.
Yeah, no, Hacksaw Ridge. Good acting. There are some moments that are a little over the top.
Right.
Like there's one scene where he's got someone on like one of those stretchers that you just pull across, like you drag it.
Yeah.
And as he's like pulling the guy over to the cliff,
the guy who's in the
pulling bodies on top.
Yeah, the guy who's in the stretcher has a machine gun and is shooting Japs.
It turns a little bit into A-Team or something like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's a little over the top.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if I said it on here, but I saw Gibson on
something.
on
talk show.
On Colbert.
Yeah.
And he was saying how like this guy's got crazy stuff that he does and has happened to him that he left out of the movie because it would just continue to feel made up and ridiculous.
Yeah, like he gets into the infirmary,
right?
And evidently in real life he just would not sit down. He kept helping them.
Yeah, like he's strapped and he's all these people waiting for help too, and he's like, no, help this other guy. But in the meantime, I'll start stitching people up for you as I'm. I got a wound, I got a bullet in me or whatever. Yeah. True hero, man. True hero.
Yeah, really. And the thing I like about this that's been like the trend the last year or two with true stories is at the end they show documentary footage of the real people.
Gotcha.
And like modern day versions of the actual people in the movie from like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Talking about their experiences.
Oh, that's okay.
And you get this this cool sense of it. That I would give 4 American tacos.
4 American tacos.
Yeah, and one last one, which was probably I'm also going to give 4 American tacos.
Yeah.
This is Arrival.
It's
Yeah,
a Tide commercial?
No.
Arrival. No, Ed, I did not know on a previous episode of this show. Did I not say to you that I'll go see that? Like that's a movie like I'll go see.
Yeah, I think I mentioned I was interested in seeing it too.
Yeah, that like if you go, like maybe like give a call or something,
You see what happened was it was last Sunday.
Right.
And I went to the movies to see Fantastic Beasts.
Sure.
And Fantastic Beasts got out.
Yeah.
And I realized I had enough time to go see a double feature. But I wouldn't have enough time to wait for you guys to get to the theater. So I just...
You just worried about you.
I'm sorry.
You just worried about you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right, I just want you to understand that, one of the things we're doing here, like, indirectly and, like, off to the sides, we're trying to build fucking friendship. You know what I mean? We're trying to, look, I know I'm a homebody and, like, I don't.
No.
And, like, I know you called me a couple times to go do things, and so it's like, I probably shot it down, so maybe you're in a position of saying.
Watch Westworld.
Well, I'm just trying to say that maybe he's in the position of, like, I've offered out and Bill shoots me down, so I won't. I'm trying so hard to keep the voice up. I won't bother anymore. Fuck him. He's just a fucking jerk off asshole.
I didn't realize. It was a spur of the moment thing. It's like, do I want to go home?
Fair enough. How was it? Was it good?
It was really good.
I know. I want to fucking see it.
It was really good. And I can't tell you anything about it.
I know, and that's what I'm going to thank you for not giving. Because from what I understand, is it's twisty McGoofies. Twisty McGoofies.
And there's something there's something that happens in there, and I can't tell you.
Well,
anything.
I will tell you something. Points for letting me know that something happens in there because because if nothing happened in the movie, I might have a problem.
Then it would be Contact.
That's true. Well, that's true. Stuff happened in that, but it added up to like not much.
Yeah. Or a Twister.
Hey, because why can't you just have 2 at twice the price?
Because like if I tried doing it, I'd be
fair enough.
I'd be like a friend of ours.
Totally fair enough.
Who kind of does that thing from time to time.
Some people.
Yeah.
Some people. I know more than one.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. What are you going to give this movie that we can't really talk about because it's so great? Why give anything away?
This is also 4 American tacos.
This is 4.
This is like maybe 4.5.
So I was going to say because you gave that other one 4.
Yeah, you know what?
Is this one better than that other one?
It's 4.5.
It's going to be 4 point something because just to be a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Fucking bastard.
4 1/4, 4.5.
I thought I was making friends around here.
It's 4.5. No, it's really good. I'd see it again.
Chad NV says Ed is starting to go rogue. Break out the gimp mask.
Mm-hmm.
Points. Chad.
I think we're
NV.
just going to make him stay up all night and do our Cyber Monday shopping for us.
But guys, I would see it again. So if
all right.
If you guys wanted to go tomorrow.
What I love is when you said you were going to buy these tickets for us too to make up for it. That was the best part. Like, you know what I mean? That's the part.
That was awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the part that really made my heart sing.
For the IMAX, too.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's one thing to say, hey, I'll drive all of us there.
Yeah.
And then say, I'll buy the ticket. Then when we get there, it's going to be IMAX.
Wow.
And you might be going over the line. But whatever it takes for you to feel better, that's cool.
And it's the dinner movie theater, too.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I did have to get my car fixed a while ago.
That's true. But since then, it's working, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I still got to pay for that.
All right. I'm going to ride in the back and take a nap. Me and Bob are just going to, like, coast, too. We're just going to be like, it's like an Uber ride. All right, basically. We're just going to nap through it. And
he's got a big car.
That's what I mean. Me and you. And then
as
long as he wakes us up when we get there.
Yeah, kind of like riding in an old Cadillac, a little bounce.
So
what did you do this week, Bill?
Nothing. Yeah, I watched like 3 episodes of Supermansion. I put that in the notes.
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, which like
on Crackle.
Yeah, because I had Crackle downloaded into my PlayStation, so I was like, let me go back in here and see what else is in here, because I watched a bunch of Jerry Seinfeld coffee comedians thing, which is fun, which is cool, but they got like a lot of original content on there too, so I was kind of fishing around seeing what's in there. But so I stumbled on Superman. I was like, let me get this a shot, and it's fucked up. it's pretty mental. It's pretty mental.
I watched a little bit of it with him.
So
5-10 minutes is all I needed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a giveaway for the first episode, but I mean, they just run with it every episode after that, so it's not too bad to give it away. But to give you a kind of feel, like the robot is called Robobot, right? And then like halfway through the episode, like part of the way through the episode, he starts to have an existential crisis. When I think the guy, all he does is say like, "What are you? Like, what's your problem?" And it's like, "Yes, what am I? What is my problem?" You know what I mean? And then that's it. He's unfunctional. He's sitting down. He's sullen. Can't get his shit together. And then eventually he pops back in, and he's like, "I've realized what my thing is. I'm a Jew. I've converted to Judaism, and now he's Jewbot." And not that it's this run-on thing of poking fun at the Jews or in a nasty way, but no, he's just converted. He's got the hat. He's got the hair, the curls.
The locks.
The thing on his chest changes to the Star of David. It's all stuff like that. But Cranston plays this older, kind of like probably should be retired, kind of a superhero, and a curmudgeon for the most part. And it's a lot of cursing. It's great to just hear Cranston for any reason to watch this is to hear Cranston just drop F-bombs and stuff like that. And it's a lot of fun. You should check it out. That's my recommendation for this week. I've only seen 3 episodes. I'm not going to rate it. It's good.
It's like Robot Chicken Unleashed.
It's the same guys who do it, and instead of it all being toys, they've made a whole bunch of their own figures, and a little better looking in that regard too, because they use so much clay on Robot Chicken to kind of make things work, because they're using old school toys. Yeah, that it gets a little gunky looking sometimes, or a little sloppy and weird.
Well, I think part of that's on purpose too.
Yeah, they don't give a shit to a degree too.
This is all okay. You guys got a decent budget, just go for it.
Yeah, these things look very much more polished and.
I mean, how much do you really need for a show like that? It's not like you're paying stars.
No, I mean,
all right, Bryan Cranston, okay, but
sure.
I mean,
he's your anchor.
Overall, he's your anchor. Overall, it's just like the guys who are creating it, they're the voices.
Yeah. You're bringing a bunch of staff over from Robot Chicken to animate it.
Right.
But worth it. I think it's worth it. I'm going to plan to try and catch more. So seek it out. But that's all I got for the meanwhile section.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have anything for Flash there?
Well, we're going to do the DCTV report later on, Bob.
Right.
That's a great segue. I like that. It's a great tease. I like how you did that. But you know what I did do? I did a poll.
Oh, you did
I did a goofy little poll.
Oh, yeah?
How did it feel going in?
Better than the last time. Each time.
Oh, that's horrible.
No.
That's disgusting.
That's what it is. It's not horrible. It's just disgusting.
Yeah.
But it gets easier every time. To answer your question, it gets easier every time.
No splinters this time, right?
No. Right. So it came out of a conversation I had with Palmer where it was like I was talking about like one of my eyes is weaker than the other a little bit. So he's like, you should get a monocle. So I was like, that's a good question. Maybe I should see what people would think about that. So I put a poll out. If I got a monocle instead of glasses, that would make me. And these were the choices. We got 51 people to kind of reply on this one. 16% said that would make me cool. And 16% said that would make me a douche. 14% said that would make me pretentious. And 54%, that basically makes me a cartoon villain. There you go, you know what I mean? So it's like, true.
Well, see, we live in New York. If this was Brooklyn.
Yeah. Oh, like the hipster town?
It's over. It's over.
We just have to give you like an old Dodson pickup truck. And a flannel shirt,
a monocle, and a pocket watch,
and you're good, dude. You'd be the king with the goatee and everything you got going on.
No, that's true. I could,
you'd be the king of hipsterville.
That's it.
I feel like you may need a handlebar. You may need to grow out that handlebar.
I need to do some work on the sides here, definitely. But I got something going.
Yeah,
I got something going. Yeah, I can make something happen. It wouldn't take a lot to get some status in Williamsburg.
He's got a sensitivity to titanium.
Okay.
on the skin, so there's the blades.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
From your razor blades. So
all right.
You don't shave that often.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. We learned something, kids.
Just a little what family knows about family. You know what I'm saying?
It's the small things. And people say we don't share on this show. But that's it for the poll. It was a little silly. Yeah. It wasn't exactly funny, but it was a little bit silly. Is that all right with you, Ed? We do silly once in a while.
Yeah, of course.
And you know what else we do?
What else do we do?
We do news.
We do news.
Nerdy news, nerd o'clock. Ow! Ow!
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep making noises till you start.
So first up in the news,
David Lee Roth. Ow!
Justice League Action on Cartoon Network has announced that it's premiering 6 p.m. on Friday, December 16th. It's going to air regularly Saturday mornings.
What is it?
What is it?
Oh,
Justice League Action.
Justice League
Is
Action.
It's
an animated series about the Justice League.
Okay, thank you.
And I read the synopsis for the premiere episode. I can't. Bill, you got to read it. You got to. Oh man,
It's about to pee himself, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Bob, it's got
so
Shazam.
happy.
It's got Shazam. So he can't handle it.
Oh man.
All right, maybe, are you wearing it? Depends. Please let me know that you're wearing it. Depends right now.
I'll throw you a roll of paper towels.
As the man sitting next to you, you're about to shit yourself.
Oh, I was so happy. I told Shemway. I told Bill. I was giddy as a schoolboy.
Is that what it was? Yeah. Actually, you literally called me to let me know. And I was like, and I couldn't believe that was.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's basically the phone call.
They never start with Shazam. They never start.
They never
with him.
give that guy.
That's
fair
always
due.
like season 6.
Oh my god! Are you done?
Oh.
It's
gonna be incredible. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Is it?
You got Black
I
Adam
just
in
realized
there.
right now he sounds like a Cubs fan.
Oh.
He sounds like any super fan
so
of a thing.
happy.
And he's on the Rock of Eternity.
Oh, Ed.
He's gonna be voiced by Sean Astin.
Okay, we're done. All right, we're done.
Okay,
All right, we're
so
done.
all right, so
We're
that
done. We're done with that. We're
So
done
he's
with
going
that.
to sound like a little kid.
So, well, he's
All
all
right,
right.
all right, let's do some movie news.
Yeah. What do we got?
So Black Panther added another cast member, Angela Bassett. As
This movie is filling up
yeah,
with high-profile people that I don't know. I'm hoping this movie can handle the weight
yeah.
because, like, I don't know. I just, it's. I think it can. Don't get me wrong. Like, if anybody can do it, it's going to be Marvel. But it's just one of these things where it's like, they're lining up some heavy hitters for this, and it's almost like it's just going to be. Like, I just hope it's not like beneath them in the end.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it was only okay. Like in the Marvel Pantheon. Like, you know what I mean? But, hey, a lot of hope for it. And, if they keep lining up superstars and heavy hitters like they have been, normally I don't think Angela's that busy lately. I could be wrong. I don't know what her last projects were, but...
and, she's playing Raymonda, the Queen Mother.
well, no, I know that, but... yeah, so she's not going to be in too much of it either,
Yeah. But she's in it, and that's cool to see.
So what's sorry, I was distracted by the chat room. Sorry. What's next on that thing there, buddy?
Okay, so Ben Wheatley and Tom Hiddleston are putting together a Frank Miller adaptation.
Yes. Of Hard Boiled.
Hard Boiled. Bill, you talk about this.
So Hard Boiled is Frank Miller and Jeff Darrow. Jeff Darrow, however you want to pronounce it.
Was this Dark Horse?
This was Dark Horse. This was back in the 90s. It was this 3-issue miniseries. Kind of put Jeff Darrow on the scene for art, and it was this came out a little bit oversized, but it was over detailed, and that's why it was oversized because Darrow's artwork would be so finely detailed, where every single piece of glass and
it would just be a blur and something's too small.
Yeah, otherwise, right, you would shrink it all away, and so, so it's an over-the-top, very near future, not noir because noir. It's like a daylight noir, let's say like that. Like it's retro futuristic a little bit, but it's basically just about this IRS claims adjuster.
So it doesn't look like Sin City.
Correct. So it's this IRS claims adjuster who finds out basically he's a cyborg, but it's done very surrealistically in the book. And it's this thing between the hyper realistic artwork and Frank Miller writing over the top on top of that. It's like just this visual. The visuals are probably better than the story. I mean, I could tell you that. The story's kind of thin,
right?
But it's one of these things where it's like they probably would never make this. Like, how could they?
Well, even David Fincher tried and failed.
Yeah, there's been a few people attached to it. But, you know, in this day and age, this era, this is when you could actually try and pull something like this off. If you're trying to make like this literal adaptation of it, you know what I mean? Which is going to be some interesting visuals. I'll just leave it at that. Like, you know, but really kind of crazy over the top shit.
Cool.
I couldn't be more excited about that. It's a personal favorite. And if anybody's never read that, wants to check out something, there you
Check
go.
out Jeff Darrow.
Sounds very cool.
Yeah.
You ever read Shaolin Cowboy?
Yeah, I've read a couple
Oh, that's
issues.
incredible.
It's a great book. It's a great book. It's funny. It's really
Anything attached with Frank Miller is going to be good.
yeah, generally speaking. And it's from his back in the days when people say he was still doing good stuff. So
Right.
because everybody gives him shit about his current stuff. So moving right along, Marvel's Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige.
Okay, Feige. Talks about DC films and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, like the way, you know, Marvel and Sony have this deal now that they're sharing Spider-Man. Everyone's talking about, you know, they're going to do that with Fox and the Fantastic Four and X-Men. Are they going to get like a you know, integrated into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And Kevin Feige said, yeah, it's never going to happen. Probably is quote unquote an impossibility at this point.
Impossibility.
Yeah,
At
Fox
this
just
juncture.
wants too much, I'm sure.
All right, we were buffering out there for a minute, according to the chat room, guys. How are we sounding now?
Hello. Are we there? Are we there?
So,
Are we there yet?
so,
Are we there yet?
Yeah, we're good.
so, yeah. So that's like, you know, there's that. I guess with the Fox thing.
Which we all kind of knew. I think
Yeah,
this was,
that's what I mean. That's kind
you
of
know,
where
it
I'm
just,
going.
you know, now he actually came out and said it. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
Right.
All that ultimately means is that the right people have to be in position at Fox.
And that's not how it is right now.
Right now, there's no one that's going to be pro this idea there. So if you know anything was talked about at all, numbers and impossibilities were thrown at them.
Yeah.
You know, just
Any
a
conversation.
wall basically was thrown up.
Yeah, it's dead in the water, as they say.
It's like one of those. If you want us, this is what it's going to cost, and it was just like no.
Yeah, probably. So that's cool. So there's been some activity with Dune.
Yeah, we're in the reboot report right now.
Yeah, the
And,
reboot report. Brr.
So we got
I don't know what that noise is, but that's what you got.
two classic 80s sci-fi movies coming up. The first up is Dune.
Yeah.
Hollywood reporters claiming that Legendary Studios have purchased the rights to the sci-fi novel. This is a property that always sounded really good, but I'm not a big fan of the David Lynch movie.
And
I saw some of the sci-fi miniseries, and they were okay.
I've seen a bunch of both, and maybe it is a thing that just no one's really done it quite right. But you would kind of think that the Sci-Fi Channel, they did like a 25-hour thing.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know,
tried to
whatever,
give it
some
like
6-hour thing or 9-hour thing.
They tried to give it like the Battlestar treatment.
Yeah, and from what I understand at the time, if I remember correctly, people were kind of well receiving it, the fans of the books and stuff like that. So obviously, nothing is dead for long.
Mm-hmm.
The studios love trilogies and shit like that, and here you go. But it rings no real bell for me, like you said, for nostalgia. I got no real nostalgia for it personally.
But people talk about it.
Yeah.
Other 80s project.
Yeah.
So the other John Wick director, Chad Stahelski.
Yes.
Yes. So he is signed on to direct a remake of Highlander.
There can only be one.
There can be only one.
That too. Actually, I hope they change it just to piss people off. It's not there can be only one. Now it's there can only be one.
Do they bring back Christopher Lambert? Oh, I'm sorry, Lambert.
I don't know.
Maybe it's one of the elders in the very beginning.
He's looking like he did in the opening of Highlander 2 now. If anybody remembers how that opened.
It's funny. I think he and Thomas Jane look exactly the same.
There is a similarity.
Yeah.
Wow. Christopher Lambert and his peak. His when he was around the same age. Yeah. There is maybe it's a son.
Definite similarity.
Maybe Thomas Jane is just a Lambert clone made of Cadmus.
Bastard Love Child, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's it. But no, this sounds cool. I mean, I'm down for it. I feel like it's one of these things where, like, I was telling you the other day that, like, you know, Highlander, as good as it is, it's revered and nostalgia's kind of filter. Like, it's just eking out, even back then by standards. I feel like from back then, like, it was cool and all, but you knew watching it that, like, this is just outside of being like a shitty film. Like, you know what I mean? Or it's just being corny. What saves it is some really great scenes, sets, scenes, and locations.
The scenery is great. The budget definitely wasn't, because it's just guys with swords running around, basically. Yeah.
And I just rewatched these movies a couple of years ago, and the first one does not hold up.
Why? There's more than one?
But there can be only one.
I was just going to say, much like the line in the movie is there can be only one. That's how we should have kept that series back then.
Like, you can see all the wire work. Like, they don't even try to hide it that he's in the harness during all the flying.
During the second one?
No, the first one.
Oh, okay.
During all the flying scenes.
There's a little bit of flying stuff.
That fight at the end.
Right. I'm just remembering the second one.
You know,
the guy running around.
So it looked like basically the director was like, all right, guys, reaching into his pocket, he says, the budget for this scene is $28.16.
We're over.
But, like, for 1986, that was cutting edge.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
That was...
Cutting edge for the budget it had. One of the things that saves it is it does feel very kind of, like I was telling you, it feels like an import almost. It's got a lot of visual stuff that feels not just because of the locations, but like when it's supposed to be New York and all that, it feels like it's filmed from a European kind of company.
Definitely get that. And Clancy Brown plays the main bad guy. He's great.
He's great now.
He'll
always be great. He'll always be great.
But the quickening, I think, is famously one of the...
Can we just say that Clancy Brown should be having Ron Perlman's career? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Or the two of them should play brothers in something, maybe? Really tall, broad-shouldered, monster-looking white guys?
Yeah.
I think they're related. Well, they should play brothers. Cain and Abel. There you go. Write it. So, yes, that's cool. Jazzed about that. Then over in the other department, I didn't see this. You put this in. The headline here is... for those who were listening to the pre-show, we're going to say this is Vampire Bat has trouble flying. The Walking Dead Lucille Bat confiscated by the TSA.
Yeah, so it's definitely a fan bought a replica of Negan's baseball bat, Lucille, and tried to bring it through Hartsfield-Jackson's Atlanta International Airport.
Yeah, see, the TSA is paying attention.
Yeah, they confiscated it.
So
the worst part is the TSA agent is holding the bat for posing for a picture that's on Twitter, and she's got this big giant smile on her face.
Look what I got. She's probably a fan too. She's probably spotted him.
I guarantee you that don't make its way back to the
probably
production
not.
company.
You know what I mean? No.
That's disappearing from.
So was it like the toy, like the one you can buy at the store, or does it look like the fan made it?
No. This is an authentic replica. This is
This is like
this is a long black bat with barbed wire on it.
Nice. There you go. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get that through. Like, where are you going? Like, you're going to tell the TSA you're going to Comic-Con?
It's okay. I'm in the show.
Yeah. I'm in the show.
It doesn't mean you're not nuts and going to smash everybody's head in the friggin' airplane.
Why would you put this in a carry-on?
Because you're stupid.
You got to check that.
You got to, you got to just leave it in your bag, man. You got to take the risk and put it in your suitcase. Just hope no one fucking sees it. I don't know. That's really stupid. So speaking of stupid, Ed's going to jump over to a live feed real quick. I want him to check something out, something I saw the other day on the internet, and I posted a little link to. Trying not to spoil it too much.
The Cards Against Humanity holiday hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now you're on the live feed there?
Yes, I am.
So what's going on in that live feed?
Well, there is a construction vehicle digging a ditch.
That's right.
Yeah. It says there's dig time remaining, 17 hours, 25 minutes, 40 seconds.
Yep. That's it.
It's a live hole feed.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
it.
Okay.
That's the bit.
That's the bit.
That's the bit. So Cards Against Humanity loves to do something stupid like every year around the holidays. If you might remember, like last year, the year before, they told everybody, hey, send us $4. We'll send you poo. And people were like, okay, whatever. And they sent them $4. And they sent poo. Like, you know what I mean? They literally sold shit. So this kind of a thing. So this year, it was like, if you keep sending us money, we'll keep digging. and we're not telling you what we're doing with the money. Don't worry about it.
Digging can mean whatever digging can be applied to.
So they got
And you're
this,
just going to have to wait.
So they got this big crane. It's digging away, Bob, and he's turning around. He dumps it in the truck. The truck goes about 100 yards, drops it off in this spot, and comes back for another load. And it's been going for hours now. There's 20 hours left. I started watching it last night. I got a little too captivated, and I'm like, okay, all right. Because here's the thing. Between watching it and then there's a live chat going on of people half making fun of it and then the other half asking, what is this? What's going on? What is this about?
And then they got to be torturing those people.
Yeah, so the people who've been in the chat
bullshit.
room are just not even answering them. Like the people who do know what's going on are just
Right.
ignoring these 2,500 people who are like, what is this? So like 5,000 viewers earlier today. What do we got there? If you got the live feed still going.
How many are there now?
Yeah, if you got the YouTube. I'll tell you this much.
He
Well, Ed's
had it
looking
up. He had
But,
there it is.
So I linked an accompanying article to it. And at that point, when the article was written, they were up to $30,000. Earlier today, when I was putting this into the notes, they were up to $82,000, and the site had crashed. So down at the bottom of the screen, as this thing is working, they're putting a little ticker across. $5 from Amy in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
$10 from Jim, whatever, out in wherever.
Just like the pledges.
Yep, that's it. That's it. And so
So there are 6,090 people watching.
now there's
right
6,000 in the room right now. So what's
that's
funny
funny.
is that one of the things they're saying is that, and the reason they do this is try to bring attention because they do it during Black Friday and Cyber Monday in between
Right.
those
Okay.
to get a conversation. If anybody really it's a commentary on wasting money and over capitalistic nature around the holidays type of thing.
Right.
But one of the things they say, which is great, I think, is to people who are like, well, why aren't you going to give the money to charity? They turn around and go, why aren't you giving the money to charity? Why are you giving it to us to dig a hole?
We told you what we were going to do.
So like they're saying, like, yeah, don't give it to us, give it to charity. But at the same time, people are just going to give the money out of shits and giggles to see how long it'll go.
Right.
So we'll see how long this lasts. But so
Well,
the longer there's money
can it go past Cyber Monday?
Well, that's what I'm wondering is if they're thinking is, well, because what they've done in the past when they just asked, because one day they were just like, hey, everybody just send us $5 for literally no reason. Like quite literally, just send us $5 for no reason. And people did it. And I couldn't believe that people were actually doing it. So they took that money, they divided it amongst their small team, and everybody donated to a different charity. So obviously at some point this will probably go to charity, whatever money's left.
Yeah.
But I'm figuring there's a lot of heavy machinery involved and 24-hour operation. They've got like 10 cameras on this thing. They had a fucking drone on it before. So they've got some money going. So whatever money gets raised, obviously will go to pay for this operation. Whatever's left will probably get divvied up. But they're playing the shtick of like, we're not giving it to anybody. Don't like it's not about that. Like,
Legally,
it's about,
they can't keep it.
Right. Well, probably
So,
to avoid legally they probably can because there's no law that says you can't.
Yeah.
It's just unheard of, and it's a douche move to keep it though. So they probably won't.
it's not like they're lying to people. They're being transparent.
Yeah, they're like, that's it. And so, it's one of these too cool for the room kind of bits. But I thought it was funny. Chad and V says, hey, crowdfunding to dig to China. That's not bad. So that's a thing you can go check out on the YouTube. The holidayhole.com is the website that crashed. But if you want to just, you know what it reminded me of after a while? It was like, this is just like remember when you were like a little kid and you would just take your Tonka trucks or whatever and just go dig a hole in the backyard for whatever.
Hell yeah. I love
You
my
know what I
Tonka
mean?
trucks,
Just-
man.
Or even if you didn't have Tonka trucks, like you would just go play in the dirt in the backyard kind of a thing, go dig holes, mud pies or mud holes, these kinds of things kids might have done. This feels like the adult version of that, where it's just like, we're just going to dig a hole,
Kind of.
a giant hole for no good reason.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Right.
'cause
Well,
it's
I'm
absolute-
sure they just sat around and asked the question, okay, how can we waste money? What is a good commentary on wasting money?
What's a ridiculous way we can just get people to give us money? That's like absurd.
All right.
Like totally absurd.
So
We'll just
all right,
dig hole for nothing.
Last year it was this whole shit thing, which makes sense. This year, this makes sense. So
Just pay for a
I
hole.
want to know what they're going to do next year.
You got to top yourself. You got to always top yourself. So
Just launch it into space, I think.
yeah, I mean that's not a bad idea. Just
Just send us money so we could launch it into space.
wow, that would be funny. Just
Just
shoot it out.
Right?
Just
Yeah.
blast it out of a cannon or send it up in a satellite and have the satellite open up in pod bay
Just
doors.
have a whole bunch of dollar bills, just like stamped with the show's name on it or whatever over it.
And just have it
launched in a rocket that just breaks orbit.
drop $1 million in quarters.
Just like explode the load, watch the money go all over the place.
There you go. Like
And it
confetti.
just drops down and it lands in the ocean.
There you go. If you
There you
want
go.
it, it's out in the ocean.
The
Go
rocket
swim
lands
for
in
it.
the ocean. The money is up in space. All right.
They should drop $1 million cash out in the ocean and then see how long it takes people to go out there and try to get it.
Yeah. Someone will try and figure it out.
Yeah, somebody go out try and make it out there. Meanwhile, it's like
Junk-
literally middle of the
Junkman will be
Atlantic.
the first ones.
Oh yeah. There's guys out there.
Junkman will be the first ones with all the space stuff we got going on up there.
That's true too. All right, so I think this is the part of the document, Ed, where it might say something else about doing something else.
Yeah, it's time for the DCTV report.
Oh shit!
To understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that? Good. You see that red blur?
DCTV.
Welcome to the DCTV report for the week ending in Saturday, November 26th, 2016. I'm Edward O'Hare, nickname to be determined. We will have commentary by Bill Sweeney and Brother Bob Sweeney.
Ooh.
Only 2 days of DCTV this week, Monday and Tuesday. The Wednesday and Thursday shows took off for the holiday. Monday, we got our usual triple threat, beginning with Gotham.
Gotham.
Let's jump straight into the synopsis.
Ooh.
A band of motorcycle assassins with car bombs and machetes were hunting down Mario Falcone. Neither Mario or Carmine would tell Jim or Bullock why. One assassin was arrested, and the cops left him alone with Carmine, who pulled out one of the poor guy's teeth and made a deal with the Court of Owls to leave Mario alone.
Aww.
Alfred and the kiddies tried to figure out what to do with the key they found last week.
Right.
The Whisper Gang kidnapped Ivy, and Bruce gave them the key as a ransom. The court caught up with the Whisker Gang and killed them, but not before they told Bruce that the Court of Owls is not what they seem, and they love breaking deals.
Right, yes, that's the part I saw.
Mhm.
I saw that final exchange there at the end.
Yeah. Ed kidnapped Tabitha and Butch and tortured them slowly enough for Barb to find them and stop Ed just as he realized Butch didn't kill Isabella.
Okay.
The last-minute reveal?
Yeah.
Mario is infected with Tetch blood.
What's what?
Tetch blood.
That's the stuff that...
That's the stuff that
Don't know
made...
what Tetch blood is.
Come on, it's the stuff that made Captain Barnes go crazy.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good, very good.
Yeah,
very
the
good,
stuff
very
in
good.
Mad-
Well, that's kind of like I figured.
Yeah.
I figured.
The stuff in Mad Hatter's sister's blood.
I just didn't know that was specifically what it was. I thought it might have been something new.
No. So, now over to Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Lucifer was facing eviction after a shady real estate tycoon was murdered. Long story short, the son's fiance did it.
Okay.
Lucy threw a huge rager as an I'm going out of business and getting kicked out of my home party.
Okay.
Charlotte, Lucy's mom, went to the party and learned from Dr. Linda that Lucifer really likes Chloe. Charlotte met up with a bomb maker and plotted Chloe's demise. Maze and Amenadiel tried tracking Charlotte but did not learn much. Chloe saved the nightclub by getting it declared a landmark. Lucy asked Chloe to dinner, but stood her up after Dr. Linda told him he should show Chloe
Does
his
anything
true
cool
face.
happen on this show?
Yeah.
This sounds like just like, hey, regular stuff.
Yeah, well, it sounds like lesbianism's going on until you realize, oh, wait, Lucy's a guy.
Yeah.
I
And
guess that's true.
Lucy's the devil.
Well, that's cool. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
And the last minute reveal?
Yeah.
There's a bomb under Chloe's car, and Charlotte is holding the detonator.
Oh, no. Do you think she'll do it?
I don't know, man.
Don't give me the dick answer. Do you think she'll do it?
She would. She wants to. She really wants to.
Fuck, what do you work for the show? You can't give me a fucking real answer? All right, go on. Next. What's next?
Supergirl.
Supergirl.
Kara went to Cadmus to try to break out Mon-El.
Yes.
Really?
She ran into the real Hank.
Mon-El is who?
Mon-El is the Daxamite who... Mon-El, the other... Daxamite is He's a Legion of
Kryptonian?
Superhero. Yeah.
No, but that I know.
It's Kryptonian sister species. So, kind of like they don't like each other because they're from different planets, but they have the same powers.
Okay, fair enough.
So while trying to break him out of Cadmus, she ran into the real Hank Henshaw.
Right.
Cyborg Superman.
Yeah.
Who took her down.
Yeah.
Then Lillian Luthor tortured Kara and took blood samples. Mm-hmm. Jeremiah Danvers, Kara's adopted father.
Jeremiah Danvers.
Yep, played by Dean Cain.
Played by Dean Cain. Does he talk like this, sir?
No.
It's not quite Jeremiah anyway.
Who's this guy,
but
Dean Cain? Who?
I've heard of him. I've heard of him.
You sure?
Dean Cain. He played Clark in Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman.
Oh, I don't believe that happened.
Broke out Kara and Mon-El, but stayed behind because it's too early in the season for him to come home.
I love that line. Thank you, sir.
James Olsen had to clear his new alter ego's name after an angry widower began killing criminals and framing Guardian for it.
They made Jimmy Olsen a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because
a guy...
Did they need one?
No.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like what Arrow's doing with... It's like what Arrow does to Diggle. Like we have to... It's even worse than Diggle, because Diggle is kind of like a tough guy. Mm-hmm. And, Diggle was only on the show, right?
Yeah.
Originally, anyway. He might be in the comics now, but he's originally a show conceit.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So, but they are super heroing him. Like, they have to make him into a guy. Like, they have to put armor on him.
Yeah.
And sadly, the problem with Jimmy Olsen is that they take a character that already exists and they slap him onto Jimmy Olsen.
But the actor playing him is too well built not to be punching people at some point on this show.
Is that the thing with him?
Yeah.
Okay. They got to really, maybe from the jump that they knew they wanted to do that down the line. All right, fair enough.
John got queasy and realized McGann is a white Martian.
Oh, okay.
Of course he is.
Well, of course he is.
So she opened up to John about being ashamed of her past.
Okay.
And admitted that her blood might be killing him. Oh, no. So John, out of compassion, decided to imprison her.
I mean, John Jones?
John Jones.
All right, so we're talking about Martian.
Martian Manhunter.
Martian.
And the last-minute reveal... Maggie likes Alex and wants them to be friends.
Oh, Maggie likes Alex. Maggie likes Alex. Maggie likes... All right, Jesus Christ. Every one of these shows. Every one of these shows can have that moment. Go on.
Now over to Tuesday.
Tuesday! With this kid, right?
Your friend, right? On The Flash.
This should be
Understand
fast.
what I'm about to tell you. You need to do something.
You need to do something first.
You need to believe in the impossible.
You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
I bet you could.
That's why I'm still watching the show.
So,
I'm believing in the impossible idea that it might get back to how good it used to be.
Cisco and Caitlin helped Barry fight off Savitar, the god of motion.
Savitar.
So the bad girl's not a bad girl after all.
Yeah. And they brought Wally's cocoon back to Star Labs.
Yes, Wally's cocoon.
Because, of course, Wally's got a cocoon.
Yeah.
Well, hey, the kid was cold. He wanted to stay warm. He wanted to metamorphosize.
That'll keep you toasty.
Caitlin decided she had to be a supervillain, went full off the deep end as Killer Frost, and kidnapped Julian and used him to find alchemy followers.
Yeah.
And Barry and Cisco were able to take her down and throw her into the pipeline. Joe and HR, meanwhile, broke Wally out of the cocoon, and the kid's in rough shape.
Yeah.
Then after a heartfelt talk, Caitlin decided she didn't need to be a superhero.
Wait a minute. There was a heartfelt talk on this show?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Isn't that out of character for this show?
Yeah, this show's usually just straight action.
Yeah. Caitlin decided to stop being a crazed supervillain and do the doctor thing for Wally, who ends up having speed powers now.
Coinky-dink.
Of course he does.
Of course he does. The slowest play ever in a show, but whatever.
Yeah, and because Caitlin is obviously, normal again now, Barry was able to convince Julian not to turn Caitlin in on one condition.
Yeah.
Barry quits the CCPD.
Which kind of like for a moment I was like, all right, didn't see that coming.
Last minute reveal, Julian is alchemy.
Oh my God, spoilers. All right, before we go any further.
Yeah, we didn't see that one coming at all, did we?
Because we watched Flash, let's just take a break real quick. Issue I have is like, okay, it's cool that they're like, right now they're moving all the storylines ahead. I don't know what's worse for Caitlin's character, the fact that like she kind of like we just sped up her storyline and wrapped it up all at once, or what? Because I know the opposite side of that, the option is to drag it out and annoy us with it. So I know that there's no real winning, but I just felt like it was just so like we went back to where we were 3 episodes ago with her. You know,
right.
And now she's just wearing the bracelets. Her powers are kind of like held back, and she's gonna, still kind of be up in the air about ever using it. She'll use it every now and then when it's plot convenient.
See, I think if they really needed to do with her was exile her. Like she gets so fed up. The only way that she could deal with this is by leaving.
Yeah, and then have her come back, and she's like adjusted, but is she like do something like that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
have her come back as looking like Frost,
but she's like, no, I got a handle on it.
Yeah, she's still Caitlin.
Or maybe she just becomes a supervillain. That could be the thing too.
Well, that's the problem with some of these shows. They won't commit hard to that. Like sometimes, like they will in the comics. Like it's like let's just say that fuck it, Spider-Man's best friend is going to be the Green Goblin now too. Like just like his dad. Like you know what I mean. And then like for 30 years, he's just a Green Goblin now. Harry and Norman, both of them. But they won't do that on shows. Like, if someone goes bad, they go bad for a little while.
No, her agent probably wouldn't let that happen because it would mean less episodes.
Yeah, well, there's that too. He's got to get his check.
Yeah. Now, do you guys have any questions about the first 3 shows?
No, because basically we kind of hit the Flash. That's
that's
ours.
what we watch.
And we'll see where that goes.
Do you want me to explain Lucifer a little bit? We've had 2 weeks, and I feel like you guys have no idea what's going on with that show.
Well, that's because we don't.
We don't really care what's going on.
And I'm kind of surprised that I don't hear more about monsters and like crazy shit.
Right.
It feels very much like, which I know is the hook, is like he's moved into L.A.
Yeah.
And like he's just house hunting. And like buying furniture and shit. It sounds like his life.
Well, it's weird because there are 2 tracks going on. There's the procedural. There's the murder mystery.
Sure.
Which is which takes up a lot of time in the episode. But the real nuts and bolts part of it is the subtext of what he knows that he's not telling Chloe, which is all of the underworld stuff.
Okay.
Now the fact that his mom is in town and she's trying to get him to leave.
Come home.
Yeah. So that's like when I was talking about Charlotte trying to play. That's the God's ex-wife who he threw in hell for Lucifer to torture for eternity.
Well,
because God's such a nice guy that he shouldn't be in hell himself.
It was different times back then. All right, so it runs a lot deeper than it sounds like from these descriptions. So I won't mock it as hard.
People who know the show know what I'm talking about.
Fair enough. That's always been the idea with this bit. So I'm just trying to like, Palmer's saying, hey, make Lucifer 101 into a separate segment. A suggestion. And I say, this is Lucifer 101, basically. All right, so let's go into the next, what's left then? Because there's only a few shows.
That was
it. That was it.
That's 2 days worth of shows.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Fucking, I thought there would be more to it. But you're right, it was a short week.
No Disasters of Tomorrow? I mean, Legends of Tomorrow?
No. Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow took off. Next week is going to be a big week.
Yes.
Because we've got all the shows, and you've got you've got that big, giant Alien versus Heroes crossover.
Yeah.
Between all 4 CW shows.
Oof.
Now, Ed, as someone who watches all the shows, and we don't, should we be watching this next coming episode of Supergirl?
Absolutely.
So that it leads in. No.
It is going to be one story that flows through all 4 shows.
And it seems, obviously it's going to start with her. She's the first night of the week, but
Yeah.
her show revolves around aliens, so she'll be integral in that aspect.
Yeah. And I think also because the bad guys are the Dominators, which are Legion of Superhero villains,
right?
But they're an alien race, and Mon-El is a Legion of Superheroes character. So I think there's some kind of connection there.
Yeah, that
Mon-El's shown up on her doorstep.
Okay,
and I think that's gonna lead into it. So basically, even just watch Supergirl just to find out who the bad guys are.
And that's it. And that's it. And that's the end of DCTV Report for this week, folks. If you're digging that, let us know. Send it in an email. Send us notifications, messages, whatever you like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and to answer Palmer's question right here, I don't think you need to have watched any of the previous episodes of the other shows to catch up.
For the big crossover.
Yeah, I think it will be a self-contained story.
I think that's the idea. They're going to run that like a comic book where it's like you can just jump in. It's a crossover.
Yeah,
and as long as you know who Supergirl is, basically.
Mm-hmm. And you can catch up on the back catalog if you want, but the hope is that you'll like this, that you'll watch the show going forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's all. That's what it's all about. So, the next segment here is what we started last week with pitch versus pitch.
Enough of me talking. Let's hear you guys.
Oh, Ed wants us to spread it around a little bit. Let me see if I have anything. Let's see, music-wise. Let's go with this. Ed. So last week's title that you gave out, you gave to me and Bob.
Yep.
What was the name of that?
Brandywine Bridge.
So you gave us a movie called Brandywine Bridge. Our job was to come up with
a movie that fits that title.
A pitch for a movie that fits that title. Me and Bob will tell you our pitches, and from those, you play the role of a studio head, basically, and you say, this one I'll make.
Yes.
And then after we're all done with that, Bob's got a title for us for a movie that me and you will make next week.
Yes, I do.
Now we did a coin flip backstage before the show.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wait,
yes, it was a small coin. You might have missed it.
Where's backstage?
And
right over there.
Bob, you elected to go first.
There you go. I like the randomness of that. Just
I did,
closing your eyes and spinning around.
All right. So, Brandywine Bridge is... It would have been better for me if I would have had somebody else go first. But, all right, so Brandywine Bridge, you got a small town in Montana. It's in the 1860s, early 1860s.
Okay.
Civil War's going on, and half the town is weirdly, pro-South, and the other half of the town is pro-North. Mm-hmm. Well, it just happens to be the South side just happen to also be vampires. And the North side, werewolves.
Nice.
So, and then there's a love interest in the middle of this all.
Oh, of course.
Yes, of course. So, Paul Rubens.
Okay.
Is the male lead.
Gotcha. Right.
And which side is he on? Is he on the north or the south?
He's with the North.
It almost doesn't even matter, but okay.
Mm-hmm. And Rosie O'Donnell is his love interest.
Whoa, this movie just took a turn.
Right. Well, this.
When is this movie made?
When is it? It takes place in the 1860s.
No. I mean, like, what year is
was
this movie produced?
Like, if you had
it picked,
like,
is this being made now?
In your head, what do you
it's
say?
A pitch, so I'm pitching it to be made.
To be made now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
if this was like 1991, I'd see this movie.
It's all relevant.
Right? Okay.
Okay.
So now you got the Confederate vampires and the Union werewolves.
Sure.
They end up. The whole movie ends up in a climactic battle with them fighting, oddly enough, at Brandywine Bridge and the surrounding area. And basically, the vampires end up slaughtering the werewolves because as they drink the blood, they get the powers of the werewolves. Now they become werewolf vampires.
Werepires.
Right.
The worst.
So, and just when you think you're in the audience and you're rooting for them, yeah, all right, yeah,
right,
they're winning, right? And because it's South, no. that can't happen. So Abraham Lincoln, straight from his stint in Abraham Lincoln,
Vampire Hunter,
Hunter,
sure,
enters the scene with a Gatling gun strapped to his chest.
Nice,
right?
Nice,
and just slaughters everybody.
With silver bullets / wooden stake.
Says
bullets.
After the last fucking movie, I ain't got time for any of this shit.
My country can't survive this.
Ends the end of the movie.
End of the movie and end of the war.
It's produced by Zack Snyder.
Nice.
And directed by the Farrelly brothers.
Oh, all right. Now it's all. Now it just took a left.
Wow.
Now Paul Rubens' casting makes sense.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
But Rosie O'Donnell, still not funny. Still not funny. Oddly enough. All right.
Wow, that is quite a pitch.
All right.
That is quite a pitch. Now,
any follow-up questions?
I want to hear what you got next because before the show, you were saying, "Oh, yeah, it's going to make a 2-minute pitch."
Well, fair enough. You got any anything else before we move on to me?
I mean,
you should kind of lead that when the trade-off happens, the switch-off.
Now, this is going to be a live-action film.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And with this,
and the soundtrack is going to be by Motorhead.
It just keeps getting fucking better. It just keeps getting better. Brandywine Bridge.
Now, are you dead set on Rosie O'Donnell?
All right, don't turn into
I
a
was just
studio
thinking for
head.
budgetary reasons.
Budgetary
but,
reasons.
Selma Hayek is kind of busy though, so
Okay. Well, yeah, they're interchangeable. So that's
not for nothing. Paul Rubens and Selma Hayek as a love interest couple. You got me. You got me.
Wow, this is interesting. All right, Bill, how you gonna top that?
All right, I don't know if I can top it, but here's what I came up with. All right. So, Brandywine Bridge, for what I envision, is that it's an undeveloped project. It's probably been sitting on the shelf maybe since the 80s. All right, but it's director's Ralph Bakshi. So it's animated, and it's a fantastical reimagining of the childhood of the artist formerly known as Prince, chronicling the wild adventures he has in a land called Musicalia, a vibrant, eccentric counterworld to New York City. There, he'll help a small city neighborhood defend itself from an a cappella gang called the Rat-a-tat-tats. And along the way, he'll learn about the many musical forms that have inspired his career from whimsical characters based on his favorite instruments. Wow. So just
you've been watching Chappelle's show lately, haven't you?
It kind of sounds like. So just picture like a Ralph Bakshi, very Disney-fied story of Prince as a kid, but it's all very fantasy. It's obviously not true in any way, but it's all about him as a kid, and he learned about music and how cool funk is, and all these different genres and forms. Near the end, it ends up with a showdown, much kind of like Bob's, at Brandywine Bridge, which here is really like the Verrazano. The whole thing is like a proxy for New York. It's like the kid goes, it's like Alice in Wonderland. He goes down a rabbit hole kind of thing, or the wrong subway tunnel. Ends up in this very fantastical version of New York
the
City.
Staten Island kid becomes a star?
Well, no. I mean, he's not even from New York, to be honest with you.
Is he from Minnesota?
Yeah, he's from Cincinnati or something like that. But anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's about a city. It's about a flip side to a city.
Okay.
So it's a big purple bridge or whatever. But that's Brandywine Bridge, and it ends there where it's a showdown, and the entire city, the kid gets the entire city to rally behind him, and they're all playing instruments by the end. Like, by the end, everybody plays an instrument. We all learned the love of learning to play a musical instrument because, it's like Prince's thing. Like, he was really into music and had a wide array of skill sets and stuff like that. And then eventually the people drive the gang back because they're just louder. There's just so many of them that the a cappella rat-a-tat-tats can't be heard anymore. The scoop doobly woo wop can't be heard over the loud noise of the crowd, and I'm sure there's an open door for a sequel in there somewhere.
Now, who's involved?
So it's Prince doing the voice of himself as a child,
even though he's dead.
Well, not now. This is what I'm saying. Like, this was a project. It's dead in the
Was
water
this project
now.
like
But we
killed
can
by
do it
Michael
without
Jackson?
him. That's the thing, I guess. What was that?
Was this project killed by Michael Jackson because he did not get the lead role?
Probably not. Probably not. He had a movie. He had his chance with Captain EO. Don't even bring that guy up. He had his chance at stardom.
Good point.
He could have been famous, but he chose not to be.
It just sounds like something that he could have started too.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If Michael was around while this was getting developed, he would probably find his way in there. I'm sure Prince would have squozen his way in there.
He would have figured out a way to make himself Spider-Man in that movie.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I was pretty much really wrapping it up anyway, unless Ed's got some questions.
I mean, really, the thing I was asking is who's voicing Prince?
Yeah, but I mean, that's it now. Now we might have to go get a kid. Might have to go get Macaulay Culkin.
Mel Blanc.
He's as dead as Prince.
And who's your big villain? Who's the bad guy here?
The big villain is the leader of the Rat-a-tat-tats. Hum Low.
Hum Low. He's just very bassy. He's a very bassy.
And all he does is hum.
Yeah, basically. It's a good running gag. It comes off like maybe he's thinking. but his minions no, what he's like they take that as a command.
There's different faces, different pitch hums.
Yeah.
They
kind
can
of
tell what he's thinking.
Basically, yeah. Very much so. They all can read these subtleties that everybody else, the audience, is left to wonder, kind of a thing, and that seems to be. That's it. That's my Brandywine Bridge. Obviously, there's a big song called Brandywine Bridge. If you can just picture Prince singing that. Brandywine Bridge.
Would you be opposed to having Weird Al Yankovic do parodies of every song on Purple Rain for this movie?
I guess. I think I'm pitching it to Ed, though.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Ed, would you be opposed to pitching to him your idea?
So I will take this in.
It's nice, Bob.
I will think about this.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Did we get any listener email? Did we get any listener emails with pitches as well?
We did, but they don't count. We can throw them in. We'll talk them up for fun, but you have to pick between me and Bob. They can't. They can't play.
Could we read some of those while I mull over my decision?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Because it's not going to buy you any time.
So I will think about this.
Keep in mind that my movie
because as much as you need time to stall, I need time to stall because I'm opening up the email now.
I have made my decision.
Keep in mind that my movie is geared towards the teenagers, okay, like the Twilight crowd, all that, while his is geared towards child molesters.
It's a very
okay. So
they'll definitely be buying it. I don't know if they're watching it, but they're definitely buying it as bait, as some kind of bait. They're definitely.
I almost
Brought
feel
to you by M&M's.
I almost feel like next time we do this, whoever's not pitching should be in the other room. Like,
yeah, so they're not interrupted.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have taken this into consideration.
Okay, fair enough.
They are both fine films.
Yeah.
However, there's a little bit of a disadvantage because I'm choosing this.
Oh.
And
That's it. I lost.
As
I don't even know which way this guy's going to go besides Wong.
He's going to take the safe route and choose a rival.
Now I
feel like he's looking at the clock and he's vamping.
Bob, with your project, and let me just make this formal statement and throw down my decision before I get any kind of rebuttal.
He's doing like the reality TV show kind of build up to the announcement.
And I think
we're going to hit a commercial break right as he goes to say it.
I think you have a very commercial project.
Okay.
Vampires and werewolves are in vogue. And there's certainly a lot of CGI that would go into that. It's very ambitious project.
That's why it has Paul Rubens.
However, I think the stars are a little lacking, and I'm not sure whether or not those
Rosie's
people
going on a diet.
can bring asses and seats, especially with the under 25 crowd. Now, Bill, you have an animated project.
Yeah.
Which seems like it could be going for the Inside Out, the Pixar crowd. The thing is, the idea that music can save our lives, somehow I find that a little unrealistic.
You don't feel like Ralph Bakshi can pull that off?
I don't know. And the fact that Bakshi, I don't know if he's really animating. I don't know what his status is right now.
Well, his status is he's doing it all himself. Palmer actually has an article about him recently.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. The fact that Prince being dead may be a little difficult to pull out that voiceover.
I hear you. No, I understand. There are some things against it,
and also the thing that kind of disappoints me is that Dave Chappelle is not involved in this, and somehow I think he could have been an incredible voice for your villain. So
who's to say he's not?
Well, I'm just going by the information.
Fair enough. You're right. It's all a learning curve. We're all learning about this process.
Commercial break coming soon.
And this shows my personal bias that I don't know music. I'm not aware of the Prince.
That's true. You are not a music guy.
This is so the listeners are all going to hate me.
Right.
But I think for me this is a clear decision, and I'm going with Bob's pitch.
I feel, you know what? In all honesty, I feel like Bob's is a more solid pitch and a movie that actually probably would get made somewhere at some studio if it hasn't been made already.
It would at least survive the pitch level.
Right. You would at least get another meeting. They would at least ask you what else you got.
Yeah, right.
Me, they'd probably kick me right out. But you, they'd probably be like, well, you got something else? All right, so let's go.
Also, I feel like with the other thing is I think Bob really used the title. And I think for your pitch, Bill, the title seemed a little incidental.
Actually, the title was the first thing that told me it was a Prince thing.
Oh, really?
Because Brandywine Bridge just sounded like a song of his.
Sounds like a Prince song. That's what led you to
Yeah.
that.
That's where I went down with that rabbit hole. I was like, that just sounds like a Prince song. To
And
me,
it's
for some
funny
reason.
that you chose Ralph Bakshi because Brandywine Bridge is actually a bridge from the Lord of the Rings. It's a Lord of the Rings reference. That's where it came from.
So let's see what Palmer sent in, because Palmer was the only one who sent in his own pitch versus pitch entry. But before we get over to Bob, and we'll find out what the name of his movie is for us. So he says, Brandywine Bridge. My pitch for Brandywine Bridge is a movie that is Brooklyn Bridge with hobbits. Maybe it's a bit too on the nose, but since Ed said it, I can't get that idea out of my head. It stars Sean Austin and Sarah McLeod reprising their roles as Mr. and Mrs. Samwise Gamgee. Palmer out. So he's got a thing where it's hobbits on the Brooklyn Bridge. I guess they just chill.
Yeah, I think that was a sitcom in the 90s.
Sounds like it. You know, the trolls and the Brit.
I think it was called Good Times.
No, it had Marion Ross from Happy Days.
From Happy Days. It seems like there's pieces there, Palmer. I want to say there's pieces there. I want to say maybe you need to work on that pitch and bring it back to the studio. But hey, if anybody else wants to send theirs in next week for the title Bob's going to give us now, feel free. Put pitch versus pitch in the title on the subject line, and we'll read yours after we go through ours. Brother Bob, what is the title of the movie that me and Ed will have to pitch to you next week?
The Beginning of the End.
The Beginning of the End. There's one that can go anywhere, folks. I like it, though. It's pretty open. All right.
That was the plan.
I like it. I like it a lot. Leaves it open, Ed. All right. Unlike you, it doesn't seem like Bob stole something from a pre-existing thing and tried to build
Although
off
I
of that.
actually did. I'll tell you next week.
Yeah.
It sounds so like it has to be a thing. You know, it just sounds like one of those things, the beginning of the end. Like it just has to be a thing. It's almost like, you know, let's name a movie A Dark and Stormy Night. But all the better. All the better. It's very open. It's very loose. I like it. All right. So if anybody wants to play along, send yours in to podcast@wickedtheory.com. In a subject line, like I said, put pitch vs. pitch. And we'll read yours. And if you know what we'll do with the emails, if there's multiples in the emails, we'll let them battle it out amongst themselves. We'll do that as maybe as a separate section,
Maybe.
where it's like us at the table versus each other, but then the emailers, of the emailers, who had the best one, or the one most likely to get made, or the one we just most want to see, even if it's like it wouldn't get made in the real world, but fuck it, I want to see that. Like that's crazy. All right, so send in yours for the beginning of the end. And speaking of the beginning of the end, this is where we start to head into the email section, and we start to really wrap it up somehow, one way or the other. We start heading towards the end. Emails. We get a whole lot of emails. Not all the time, but sometimes we get emails. Email. And sometimes it's got that guy.
Who sent in emails this week, Bill?
This week, you want to know who we got some from? We got one from James Hazelden Jr.
Hey.
We got one from Agent Palmer. And we got one from Steph Munez. We also got one from Rigdon Pavlivoy. That's spam, but we don't have to read that.
Okay.
Because I don't read
Is
the
he
spam.
a Nigerian prince?
He might be. It's something about quality laser safety glasses. But
Just so you know, a lot of the people I work with are Nigerian these days. So
Okay.
They all know these princes.
Really?
it turns out there's a school of them.
They're not all that princely.
No, but they are getting an animated movie made of their childhood. All right, so this one's from James. Subject line is stuffed. Whew. Oh, wow, I'm stuffed, about to pass out from turkey and fixins in my full tummy-itis overstuffed euphoria. I figured I'd write to you guys. Don't you feel special now? While watching Avatar again, father-in-law loves the movie, and it hit me. And it hit the point where he goes to get his flying thing, and my aunt asked an interesting question: why haven't they made the end? Hold on a second. Why haven't they made the Anne McCaffrey novels, Dragon Riders of Pern, for those that don't know? How come they haven't made those into movies? The story is awesome. I think with the love of fantasy like Game of Thrones that we could do it and do it good. Maybe Amazon could grab it before Netflix to prop up their streaming content. I don't know if you all read it. Have you heard of it? What do you think? I think I've heard of the Dragon Riders, but I just never read any of that. I know it's got a huge following, if I remember correctly.
22 novels and several
22
short
novels. And how many what?
Several short stories.
And several short stories. 22 novels. That's a lot of books. That's a lot of material. So, yeah. That's what he goes on. Ooh, new stickers, because I mentioned that there's a new batch of stickers. I need to get you my address so I can make my own Wicked Theory mug, since I can't afford the $30 a month for one. Although I could up it, and once I get the mug, drop it back down, but that would be like cheating. And that's very true. I mean, putting a sticker on a blank mug to make it my own is cheating too, but it feels more honest. And you know what? I would probably find that more interesting and amusing. That's very crafty.
Right.
You know what I
I
mean?
would just want to make sure that the stickers are microwavable along with the mug, because what most people do is they take the cup and they put it in the microwave.
Right, yeah. Don't
Right,
it'll
so-
turn into a shrinky dink. Be careful.
Yeah, so you might want to be a little careful with that. But other than that,
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, hey, I can't stop you from making your own T-shirts at home.
right.
You know what I mean?
Actually, back to Dragon Riders of Pern, I have the Wikipedia page up. And there's an interesting story here about the film and TV rights.
Okay.
So prior to 1995, the motion picture and ancillary rights to the literary property were optioned by various entities, including Robert Mandel, for a cartoon series adaptation
Okay.
that was eventually redeveloped into Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders. And Kerry Scogland. In 1996, McCaffrey sold the motion picture rights to an Irish company, Zintopo Tirianta, who entered into
fucking
a
music
co-production
comes
agreement with Alliance covering... Okay, so basically, in 2002, Warner Brothers and Ronald D. Moore
Oh, wow.
of Star Trek Deep Space Nine and
Yeah,
Battlestar
Galactica.
Galactica had
And what is he
completed
doing now? He's on something now.
Outlander.
Outlander.
Had completed sets and casting for a pilot episode, and were within a few days of filming.
Oh, wow.
Moore had sent the pilot episode to Warner's for final approval. It was returned with so many changes to the basic structure of Pern, making it more like Buffy and Xena, that it no longer much resembled the world created by Anne McCaffrey.
Oh, wow.
As a fan of the Dragon Riders of Pern series, Moore refused to continue. Filming was canceled, and the rights ownership remained with Zintopo Tirianta's assigned Qua Media Corporation. Yeah, so basically, in 2006, they were optioned again by another studio. So basically, this thing has been going back and forth, and people have been trying to do it. Warner Brothers evidently has the rights now, and they've hired someone. They hired someone 2 years ago to adapt, the first movie. But it'll happen sometime within the next 5 years, and it may not be good. But it's on the table.
All right, well, I mean, it's a thing that could still come.
I remember hearing that story with Ronald D. Moore. I didn't realize it was with Dragon Riders, though.
Ah, okay. So he says, he goes on, he goes, okay, it's about the sticker and stuff like that. Then he goes, okay, welcome to the 7 Dad crossover guy. They got me listening to your show, and now you've got one of theirs, 1 for 1.
Yes.
So each show now has profited. He's talking about Wesley, I believe, who was in here earlier. Hey, Turtle. I see there's a guy named Turtle in there, or a person, I should say. Or maybe it's just literally a turtle.
Maybe.
You know?
Could be. Is he typing really slow?
I don't know if he's typing at all.
I hope it's Jerry Ferrara.
Is that, you think?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Turtle, or like from like Entourage.
Yeah.
Like it's not even Jerry. It's literally Turtle from Entourage. Like he crossed over. All right. So he says, hey, Wesley's repeating what I did, the marathon of past shows. Keep going, Wesley. You'll survive, and it'll make you appreciate the show now even more. Although Dom is missed. Yes, he is. The pitch is to Ed Ebert, very sarcastically. I can't wait to hear that. Well, probably went better than you thought.
Werewolves and vampires.
You know,
Can't miss.
You know, in a musical, in musical cartoons, No, not as good. I know. All right, so perhaps trying to appeal to Ed's taste in movies isn't the greatest break in for the bit. By the time it's read, we'll know. But I predict Bob wins. Was I right?
Wow.
He was. I don't know. Well, see, I should jump over to the chat because in the chat he's accusing me of pandering to you, Ed. He says Bill went artsy kid movie to suck up to Ed Ebert.
Yeah, but he went for my blind spot, which is music.
And if I had realized, if I had thought about either of those aspects, I probably would have went somewhere else. But I was just following that train of thought, where literally that's what I ended up thinking about. From the title. I wish I was as calculated to have gone artsy kid movie to try to suck up to you. Like, I really,
See, I just went in thinking, okay, what's going to sound like it's going to get approved?
You see, Bob was going to...
I just went in with the classic, go over the top, and they go, okay, and then, okay, now we got to scale everything.
Right. It's like, okay, now how do we pull this off?
By the time 12 different writers get it,
it's a whole different movie anyway.
It goes from being, a ninja movie to Glenn Ross.
True enough. Okay, so he finishes off by saying, by the way, still enjoying the Podtoberfest episodes. Really wish I'd been able to listen live. Maybe next year I can arrange it. And just a quick shout out for Agent Palmer. Good job, man. Good job. Bill should give you the good old-fashioned post on the pat on the back for all that you do. That's from James and Luciana. Thanks for the letter, James. It's been a while since we heard from you, and we really appreciate you hanging out today. I see you in the chat, and I appreciate the email that you sent to us. That was really cool, man. So let's jump. Guess who's next, Bob? Take a stab. That's it. I should isolate that and send it to him, like he could use it for his ringtone. Although he probably doesn't want to hear that all the time.
Just put it up on Zedge and let everybody who wants it get it.
There you go. All right. So Palmer says, "Hey, I would like to sincerely."
Serially? Come on. Serially, Bill?
Serially. I would like to sincerely thank Bill for turning the tables on me in celebration of 5 years of Agent Palmer. That's basically a plug where he's setting me up to mention that he celebrated 5 years of doing his blog.
Oh.
And he does a regular feature in there called Interrogations, where it's just like an interview. Like he interviews somebody. And so for this one, to celebrate the 5 years, he finally gets interrogated. And I did the questions. Like I did the askings.
What is your serial call? What is your social serial number?
Yeah, what is your agent name?
My agent? I'm Agent 76.
Oh, okay.
And you have written some stuff. So what's your agent name?
I'm Agent TBD.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
So what were you like a...
Sounds like a cop-out to me, Ed.
Were you a big Dr. J fan?
No, it was it's just a 76.
With the gas station?
Yeah. So from ever since then, I've just been enamored by it. And, since he does the whole agent thing, and we kind of get smart, but I went with Agent 76 a long time ago because he asked me to write there. Long time ago when we first got to know each other, so I plucked it back then because 76 is the year I was born, so it's one of those numbers I stick with for random things. All right, but also he says, hey, Bob.
What?
What are your thoughts on the Grand Tour? Seems Amazon really backed up the money truck to the former Top Gear hosts. So I don't know if you've seen any of that yet at all.
I haven't watched it. I see all the commercials about it. Basically, it seems like they're just doing what they used to do on Top Gear for somebody else who decided to drive the truck right up to their back door, filled with money, and they were like, "No problem."
Yeah, can't really argue with that.
Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just drive around all over the world, goof around.
Palmer was telling me about it over the phone last night. He made him really excited.
Oh, he's a big fan?
Sounds like Top Gear fans would love this.
Oh. Yeah, it's definitely going to be fun. I'm eventually going to see it. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
In the chat, he's saying it's good. You'll like it. He says you'll like it. So back to Palmer's thing. He says, Ed, will you ever fully embrace Twitter?
If I have the time.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to understand exactly what it is.
I feel like it's a thing, like people find the rhythm at their own speed.
Ed resists integration. He has a Windows phone.
He's a late adopter, as they say.
Yeah, in an Android and iOS world, he has a Windows phone.
Yeah.
So going out in public and doing that, I think is going to be a little difficult for him.
Well, about a week and a half ago, I upgraded to Windows 10 mobile. So I think
Congratulations.
So now you
by the
can
way.
use your phone as a remote control to watch TV on your PC.
Whoa. Whoa. All right, so last question is for me. Bill, what is the worst... What a jerk off. Bill, what is the worst thing to leave the house without? Your wallet, if everything is in your wallet. Because I left the house today and forgot my wallet. And since I posted a post about it, Palmer's making a point about it. But
Well,
yeah.
I would say for you, usually your keys, if it wasn't your wallet for today.
Oh, yeah, that'd be even worse. That'd probably be even worse.
Because I've done it once since we were here. You've done it twice.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah. Because I don't drive, it's easier for me. Someone pointed that out to me once. They were like, well, probably because you don't drive, it's easier for you to forget your keys as you go out the door. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone else is thinking about that process.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a double reminder there to kind of get the keys.
If you skipped your normal process of where you normally put your keys when you come in the house,
you're
going to forget them on your way out.
And also, if I wasn't such in a habit of locking the knob as I'm closing the door, it wouldn't matter. Because I would close the door, go to lock it with the key, and be like, oh, where's the key? Still in the house. I can go inside the house to get it. But if I lock the knob on my way out with the intention of locking the knob and then locking the top lock with the key.
Right. So maybe the thing to do is stop that habit.
Yeah, well, I think that's it. Yeah.
Call your buddy Pavlov over. He'll train you.
Who?
Pavlov's dog.
Yeah. I know, I get that.
No.
Not the key locking the door.
Yeah, no. Basically,
He's gonna
get
train
you
me.
into the habit.
Yeah, but that's going to take food. Pavlovian response is all about food, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it gets you in that habit.
I'm just going to be salivating everywhere. I don't know how that helps anything. That's all he teaches. That's as far as I know. That's all that guy was able to teach people.
Well, no, but it gets you into the habit of doing those responses, and then eventually you don't expect.
So when I hear the bell, I'll remember to get my keys, and then I'll salivate until lunchtime. Mm-hmm. Is that a subtle hint? We're doing emails. We're doing emails. I don't know if you forgot, but we're doing emails.
A little bit.
All right. So let me go. Wait, I don't know how he said. Yeah, that was it. He says, Palmer out. Palmer, thank you for the email, sir. It was very nice of you to send that in.
Yeah, Palmer, leave.
Next one is from Stephanie Muniz. Steph, all the way from the Gotham Lights podcast.
Sammy.
Hola, mi amigos, a.k.a.
Pasta.
a.k.a. Hey Yous guys. Thanksgiving and Black Friday have come and gone, and I have survived. Of course, it helps that I haven't left the house since Wednesday.
That's like me. I haven't left the house since Wednesday night. Pretty much.
So she goes, I hope you have all had a great Thanksgiving. Since Black Friday is the second busiest shopping day of the year, and a lot of people do their Christmas shopping this weekend, when do you think is the better time to get shopping done?
August.
Brave the crowds this weekend, or wait until the last minute and shop right before Christmas. That'll do it for me this week. Take care, guys. Your pal, Steph.
Let's see. Payday's Friday, so you go online Friday night. Mm-hmm. Or actually, if you have direct deposit, you'll get it Thursday at midnight, 12:01, technically Friday.
Yeah.
You go online then, you buy everything, you go to bed, and then in about 6 days, everything's there.
Yeah, if you're doing physical shopping, though, I don't know, man. I feel like you can find a nice sweet spot probably somewhere in the middle. If you go Black Friday, you get in the crowds. If you go right at the end, in the last few days, you definitely get nothing but crowds.
I actually think you got to go earlier between those two times rather than later because it's going to be building up.
Well, once Monday hits, everyone's back to work.
Right.
So you could probably be all right that week.
Yeah, that week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, go after work. Yeah. I don't think you're going to have too much trouble,
I think it would spike.
Week before Christmas.
Yeah, I think the whole sales thing's probably the traffic spikes that weekend, Black Friday weekend, drops a little bit and then slowly ramps up.
Yeah,
as it gets closer to Christmas.
Right, and then that last week is the frantic week. That last 4 days, forget it.
Oh, forget it.
What day of the week is Christmas?
And everyone's so bitter and nasty by that time.
Right.
Christmas is
still on the same.
It's a Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, so it's going to be a weekend of insanity leading up to Christmas.
Yeah, basically. Because people will have the free
They'll have-
time to go
Yeah,
out.
they'll take off from work on Friday.
Oh, yeah. People will be planning that weekend.
Yeah,
Oh, I got till Saturday.
yeah.
I have Saturday. I can do it all on Saturday.
I'll take off. I'll put in now for a day off from work. I got the time. I'll spend all weekend shopping and folding stuff and packing stuff and wrapping it, and I'm done. And they think they're going to get it all done.
So, speaking of wrapping it, that's going to wrap it up for the emails, kids. If you want to send us emails, once again, you can send them to podcast@wickedtheory.com. You know what, kids? Here's another thing. If you want to send us lightning round questions, send us some lightning round questions. You remember how that bit went, right? Let's do some of that.
You haven't done that in a
We
while.
haven't done that in a while. It'd be nice if, hey, if you want to send in 10 for each of us, there's 3 of us here, that's cool, but don't send in 10 each. Maybe once we get 3 people to send in those emails, we'll have a listener-sponsored
Lightning round.
lightning
There you
round. So keep that at the front of your
Yeah.
wicket.
Yeah, if you want to write the whole lightning round and send it in for our approval to do on the show.
Sure.
We just gotta,
Yeah.
figure out who reads what out of the 3 of us.
Right.
That
Well,
way-
I would just divvy it
we'll
up
go
10,
over
10,
it
10.
and take a look at everything and see if
No,
it's
that
all
way-
cool.
Well, we can't preview it.
exactly.
We have to send it through Palmer, probably.
Right.
He'll know the parameters. He'll know if there's anything.
We gotta have him call in to read the questions.
No.
No,
okay.
no.
We'll just
We can do like a round table where each of us reads someone else's question.
Well, absolutely.
Or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's what I would do. I would say each one of us gets 10 to read to somebody else. We just go on
That works.
to the left. You know what I mean? But
Right.
Palmer can scan it in the email stage just to
Yes.
see if it's nothing that's like, not quite the bit. But hey,
Right.
send it in, people. Send in your 10, send in 30, send in 20, whatever, but just send them in batches of 10. And then don't forget you can also take part in the pitch versus pitch. Send in your pitch for Bob's film, which was The Beginning of the End.
Yes.
The Beginning of the End. That's the running title. You pick the director and what the movie's about. Don't go too long. Make it a paragraph, which is about 5 sentences or so. Don't kill us with the emails. I can barely read as it is. I know I sound like I can read, but the words are the trouble. Making them sound like natural, that's easy. It's actually reading them off the page and getting them out of my mouth. That's the challenge. So
Glad you cleared that up.
yeah, well, just as if they couldn't figure it out. All right.
I
So
was having trouble.
what is this guy's problem? It's like you can't even read this kid.
Such an abstract thing,
Yeah, well, that's me. I'm Captain Abstract.
Of course.
Goddamn painter's brain.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Too much lead.
Yeah.
So
go.
I think that's it. I think that's it for this part of the show. People keep some kind of thing. Just kind
You're
of
vibrating.
out. Yeah, I'm vibrating.
Do you have a special card for me for next one?
So let's just see real quick. Yeah, we'll talk about chat room in the after show. We have a couple of minor things for the after show. We'll try and make something out of it. And Bob, that's it. I don't have a cue card for wrapping it up. But Bob, you know what? This is how it's going to go. Ed, where can people hear you?
At Edward O'Hare.
I mean, find you.
I'm on Twitter at Edward O'Hare.
No, that's on Twitter. But where can they find you? Like, what's your address? So, and
Oh
your zip code?
no! That's
Oh,
how,
no?
that's how Edapalooza started. That
Oh.
was we're not going into that.
No, yeah, it's high school. On Twitter at
Edward O'Hare TBD.
Bob. You're on Twitter at.
Bob WTPC.
And I'm on Twitter at Wicked Theory. You can check out the show, wickedtheory.com, and, all that kind of stuff. I'm on Instagram. Well, the show's on Instagram. Whatever. Wicked_theory. All that good stuff, kids. Find us. Love us. Keep us around. Bob, take us out of here.